Okay, beauties, good morning. We've got a minute or two before we get started. We've got a 60-minute yin practice. Yay! I really need this morning. I hope it's good for you guys too. You're going to need a bolster or something like that. A block, again, or something like that. And always, like I keep saying this, but set up near a wall so that if there's options that you want to take that are more accessible for you, then you can sorting my mic out, you can jump on the wall. You'll also be noticing most likely that your body temperature is dropping dramatically because the weather is getting cooler. So just make sure that you have got extra layers, like you've got jumpers, heaters on, socks, scarves, like all the things. There's nothing worse than getting really, really cold in a yin practice. And from a Chinese medicine perspective, it's also not that great. So yeah, have all the layers, all the things. And then let's get started. So coming up onto a block. So you can kneel or cross your legs. Just choose a position that you can sit comfortably in. And close your eyes, just let your hands rest on your lap. You can have your hands upward facing to receive energy. If you're feeling a bit flat today. And then hands downward facing if you want to conserve your energy, as in you want to contain. And just starting by feeling your body within the space that you're in. So your sit bones ground down onto your block or the floor. You got a sense of the four walls that are supporting you in this space, wherever it is you're practicing right now. And then allow like your shoulders to soften away from your ears. Just getting that sense of letting your body relax into the space that you're in. And then letting your breath become natural, so there's no force in yin. We're working with the breath just as it shows up. And then, you know, you're feeling like you've landed. You're here. Can you commit this next hour to being fully for you, for yourself? And actually let the space you're in hold you. So if there's external noise or there's other things you can't control, that would happen anywhere. Just keep allowing yourself to be with whatever is in this practice. Okay, and then open your eyes. Come off your block. We're going to start in butterfly today. So we've got a bit of lung meridian things happening. I'm not going to talk too much to that today. I want to give you guys a bit of space because I'm feeling like that's what I need too. Okay, so heels away from your groin. About 18 inches, something like that. And again, as always, guys, if you know these poses, just head straight in. Don't wait for me. Otherwise, come forward maybe to about 50% of your capacity. You can use blocks and bolsters if that's what you need. And just wait in that 50% capacity place for how that feels for you this morning. It's like halfway in as far as you can go. So we're going to be working with less poses, longer holds today. So you've got the time to actually go in relatively slowly. And what I would really like to encourage today, just in keeping with the lung and large intestines, is to feel on a really physical level, like what tension are you holding onto that you are still not ready to let go. So there might be this really familiar place where you grip and you know that is the place where you hold tension in your body. And so we're peeling back layers to get to the very core, like the nucleus of the tension in that place. And so that obviously takes a little bit of time. What I would encourage you to do is feel for the peeling back of layer by layer. And so in actual fact, you're not doing anything. It's the pause that is working for our body, not the other way around. Okay, my loves, we're about halfway. And, you know, because we're going to be here for a little bit longer, we're going to start to move into some of the less familiar areas of physical tension. And so the second part of this pause is going to be more of a test on can we stay in the discomfort. So as you're allowing your body to go in deeper, be really committed to staying with what starts to show up. You know, it doesn't always feel nice. In fact, if I'm really honest, most of the time it's uncomfortable. And you know, like it's honoring the practice by, you know, staying in the discomfort, even though, you know, that's really challenging, particularly practicing at home when it's really easy to just like come out. So you have your last 5 breaths. And in those 5 breaths, there will be no doubt some really tempting reasons why to move. And so again, it's this noticing of where our mind goes, but not acting on whatever it is that our mind is saying to do. So just keep still. It sounds really easy, right? Not so easy. Okay, my loves, start to very gradually transition your body out. So you're coming up, maybe even pausing seated. And eventually, as always, you'll come down to rest, maybe on your back. If you want to, your belly's fine too. Oh. And again, this phase change is like there's an opportunity to let the shifts that have occurred in the pause begin to kind of soak in to our cellular memory. So there's a phase change. Okay, so it's taking a transition to one side. Come on up to sitting or whatever works. So if you can, I would prefer that you did seal today. If that's just too much for you, then obviously I'll go through the other options so you can come into any variation of Sphinx. But just because of where we're working through the lung and large intestine meridians, seal is great for that. Okay. So seal pose, legs can be as wide as the mat or closer together depending on your back and how that feels. And then your hands can be wider apart, they can be closer together. You can take your hands quite a lot further forward. That feels really awful for me, but it may feel great for you. And then you can turn your hands the other way also, which sometimes I like to do. Again, if they're too high for you or that's just too intense in your back, come down onto your elbows with your palms pressed together. That would be one option. And then the other option is to rest your chin in your hands so you're down lower. Good. Again, we're going to be here a little bit longer than the usual hold time. And so it may be for you that you start somewhere and then after a while, you're able to move in a little bit deeper. Whichever version you've chosen to do, let the weight of your bones hold you up rather than any type of kind of muscular activation. So when I use the word sinking into your bones, which of course we would never really do in a yang practice, but for yin, that is where we're going. We want to work more into the tendons, the bones, the joints. You might let your head hang down. If you want to tilt your head back, that might work. And then again, that feeling of a letting go of the need to hold shit together. It's like, what would happen if you completely let your body in this moment, like fully unravel? And so, the lung and the large intestine very much around what we can let go of And we hear that so much in yoga. It's like, let go, but like, how to let go is a totally different story. And a lot of letting go is met with resistance. And so my question for you to contemplate would be, what are the things in your life currently that you're not willing just yet to let go completely? Like, what are you holding on to? And that's not right and it's not wrong, but it will be living somewhere in your body for sure. And so using the last few minutes here just to feel in for that, like feel where that lives in your body. Okay, my loves. So again, we've been here a little while. Be really helpful to come out in stages. Just real slow. It might be that you come on to your elbows first. Whoa. Eventually come in either to rest on your belly or your back, if that is a better place for you to rest today. Okay, easy, easy. Now, let's move back into a child's pose just for a minute or so. If that's not a good option for you, you can stay on your belly, that's okay. I just want you to feel the release. If there's any remaining compression or tension in your lower back, just have a little bit of time there to feel the release. And then coming in up easy, easy. So we're going to move into what we call quarter dog. So I'll demonstrate this, but I'm just going to show you the arm version. So you'll have your right arm forward and your left arm will be bent like so. And then we're coming into, so it's like an Anahasana type position. So I'll show you that as well. But particularly good for the lung meridian, this one. So probably not in as long as we have been with the previous ones. Don't tend to need as long in the upper body. So your hips will be above your knees, and then you take your right arm forward, left arm bends. You can rest your head on your arm, or you can also rest your forehead on the floor. If this is like really not working for you, if you're working with a shoulder injury probably, you can just do this down on your belly. So, or you can come into like a child's pose position, so there's not as much like downward pressure on your shoulder joint. But if you can manage keeping your hips above your knees, then that would be great. So just do the best version of this. And by that I mean the version that allows you to use the least amount of muscular effort, so we can get more into the energetics, like the meridian channels. And so letting, you know, like the tension that will most likely be building around your chest, the side of your rib cage, front of your chest, your heart. And it might be that you breathe out through your mouth just to assist, like the moving of any tension that's you know, shifting internally. And those last few breaths, so again, just notice if there's a transference of tension, if there's gripping through your shoulder joints. And can you, in the last few breaths, maybe just let it soften another 2 or so percent. It doesn't need to be a lot. Just that willingness to open to what is here. And then coming on out slowly. So you can either come down onto your belly or your back. And just like always, let yourself really uptake the change. And maybe a whole mixture of emotions that are moving. Maybe it's more a physical experience. Okay, friends, changing sides. So this time you'll have your left arm straight and your right arm bent. And again, it might mean that this side is a bit different and you need to adjust. So maybe you're in a child's pose this time. And then just work in a way that you can, you can really take out the effort in, like you're able to let your skeleton be the thing that supports you. And then pay attention also to any subtle gripping, particularly through your back teeth. It helps me quite a lot to, work with an open mouth exhale. So there's no repressing any tension back in. It's like allowing the energy to move out. Crucial part of the practice. Most of the time when I'm practicing, I have no idea what it is that's moving. But what I do know is if I don't allow it to move, there's a build-up. And then the feeling that comes with that isn't pleasant. Okay, last few breaths. So again, this check-in of, is there room to give more? As in, can you let your body soften at all? And if you can't, that's okay too. So easing out. Oh. slow, slow. You can come either onto your belly, onto your back. Oh, it's a big one today for me. We're letting go of a lot at the moment, whether we realise it or not. And, you know, if we don't know the score just now, our body does. So pay really close attention, even in this next rebound, to what is moving. Alright, beauties. Come on up. We're going to move into caterpillar from here, and it's going to be a long hold. So, if you have your favourite version, then just go straight in. I'm going to say that you can take legs up the wall, but if there's another option that you can do, try that first. Okay. So legs up the wall would be something like this. Get your butt away from the wall, about a foot. Because it's lung meridian, maybe arms over your head today, or at least out to the side. So you can feel for that line of release through your arm. If you have a bolster, you can work with a bolster at the back of your knees. More interested today in the back line of your body, the large intestine. Something like this. Obviously you can use blocks, whatever else you need. And then you can go with nothing, so like a nudie caterpillar, and you can come into just your version of the fold. But again, because we're here for a little while, my suggestion would be don't go straight into your depth within the first minute. Just let the wisdom of your body know, like you'll know when the next little bit of let go is. You know, and it's the same process in life. Like when we're letting go, we don't just go, okay, I'm going to just take my foot off the pedal and everything and let everything go. Like we do it gradually. Even if we don't realise, we're letting go all the time. So the same applies to our practice. We let go in stages. And you know, a lot of the time letting go is like associated with this deep loss, like we're losing something. which like we often are, but the stuff that we're losing is stuff that's no longer needed for us. And as humans, we are so resistant to change that we will like fight it to the bitter end until it's literally taken from us. And I am speaking for myself there. Hopefully you guys can resonate with that. But never in my life have I ever let something go and something else has come that is so necessary for me in that moment. When we let go, we create space for new things to come in. If there's no space, we're stuck. And you know, there's a healthy amount of grief around letting go that needs to be felt as well. Like, that's really important. There's a sadness that things are ending, and you know, a little bit of apprehension about what the new things will be. One thing that really helps me is just trusting that there is a greater force at work and I know nothing about that plan. But my job is to surrender to whatever comes my way. Sometimes I do that gracefully, other times I do it kicking and screaming until the bitter end and everything in between. Because I'm human, and that's how we work. halfway. And there's an opportunity, as you know, like by this point there'll be some stuff that feels probably a bit uncomfortable. We don't need to know what it is, but the commitment to staying with it is the yoga. So that's the practice. And it's not easy, but it's definitely possible. So you have a couple of minutes left here, and I would encourage you to stay in the place that is just about manageable for you, but commit fully to staying. All right, my loves. Start to come out slow. It's maybe halfway out. Pausing to uptake that stage. Oh, and then eventually coming down to rest. This time for Shavasana, final rest. So you get yourself into a space where you can rest really comfortably. You know, Shavasana is the place where we practice dying. It's like the deepest level of surrender. And the deepest level of letting go is like absolute nothingness. It's this practice of doing nothing. So you can stay as long as you need. Otherwise, invite your breath in. And with your eyes closed, transition slowly to one side. And making your way up to seated. Just keep your eyes lightly closed. Don't underestimate the power of this practice and its ability to move stuckness from our body. And take that practice with you into the rest of your day. As you bring your hands to your heart, take a full, nourishing breath in. A long breath out. Namaste. Have a good day, my loves.